Hello gamers and welcome back. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshak if you want to call me by my in-game name, and this is basically our last parts of the Witchwood expansion card review. All of the cards have now been basically released to us to take a look at and review over before the set releases in I think less than 2 days from now, depending on when you watch this video. Also, I recorded the review on stream. Due to it being the last parts, there was a lot of cards to cover and I didn't have time to do a separate video on that with classes this week and everything. So this is going to be broken up to 2 parts. Both parts were recorded at the same time, or actually the whole thing was recorded on Twitch. We'll have the cut in there. So just keep in mind that it's a little bit different than our normal videos, but I still think you guys will thoroughly enjoy it. So with that, let's cut right into it. All right, so we got Shudderwock. Battle cry, repeat all other battle cries from cards you have played. This game targets chosen randomly. You fucking serious? This is what you give Shaman? You give him Yogg on a stick, and then you give him Dragon Shitty Man? Talking about someone who need talking about oral hygienist here a second. Let's have a chat here, Mr. Shudderwock. Look at these fucking things. This motherfucker needs to brush, not me. I done had been doing that. This guy, he's ugly. His text is ugly. He sucks. Why the fuck would I play this guy? Seriously. Why would I ever play this piece of shit? If we don't play Yogg on a stick, we don't even play the card, the 6 mana 7/7 elemental that Battlecry returns everything to your hand. That guy's amazing. You think this guy's gonna see play? Get the fuck out of here. Get that shit on my face. That guy is fucking horrible. Let's take a look at Silverhand Sword. After your hero attacks, give your other minions +1/+1. 8 mana. So it basically has built-in Mark of the Lotus. Mark of the Lotus is basically worth 1 mana. So if we add the durability, which is 4, to the amount of mana this is technically worth, which is 4 plus. Alright, so what would be this? A 3/4 weapon. A 3/4 weapons is an Assassin's Blade, which is a 5 mana. So technically we're saving 1 mana here, because 4 Mark of the Lotus plus an Assassin's Blade is 9, and this is at 8. So technically, if we're talking core value roots, we save 1 mana. But we know with a lot of the Paladin synergies, you know, buff Paladin in particular, but Mean Streets is rotating out, so they're losing a lot of its buff. So it'll be interesting to see where this fits in. I really don't think it's that bad of a weapon, but taking a look at the legendary Paladin weapon, if that doesn't see play, why would some bigger weapon that doesn't have infinite, and you'd play this in a deck that has very minion, like you play this in a deck that's very minion centric, obviously. And if you're playing a minion centric deck, like a buff, which is actually rotating out, like I mentioned, turn 8, the game's probably getting close to almost over. And if you're going for the value and you just want to play this for pure value, wouldn't you want to play a weapon that never dies and also buffs your minion? So this card I think is good, but is it gonna see play? I don't think so. Like if they would have made this, well, they can't make it 6 mana, right? Because that would compete with the legendary one. So what if they made a 2 mana 2/1 weapon, or a 2/2 weapon that gave everything +1/+1? They cut this in half by a fourth. They cut the ability a half and a fourth, and they make it a little bit more aggressive, where you can even play it in sometimes maybe some control decks because you have 2 minions on the board. But this will never see play in control. This might see played in like a mid-range Paladin. If mid-range Paladin pops up, Silver Sword it'll meet the requirements of maybe a mid-range. But besides that, it's a no bueno. Cauldron Elemental. 8 mana 7/7. Your other elementals have +2 attack. So he's like a war leader dude. This is legit the warlock, or not warlock, the Murloc, you know, war leader, but just for elementals. And the reason the war leader is good because it's a 3/3/3. This is a 8/7/7. This guy's trash. The only time this is gonna see play is never. No, I take that back. The only time it'll see play is when it's randomly generated off Spiteful Summoner as an 8 mana card. I bet it's there for Spiteful Summoner. That's a shitty 8 mana card. Deranged Doctor. 8 mana, 8/8. Death Rattle. Restore 8 health to your healer. That's actually not a bad one. It's not bad for Arena. Obviously, it's not going to see any play in Standard. But, it's not bad for Arena. It's also not bad, like, if you're playing Spiteful and you're going against aggro. You know, the heal for 8 could be nice. It doesn't have taunt though, but it's not bad. This is not like a bad big drop for plus it's a common. You know, free to play players have to have some good shit too. And by good shit I mean like mediocre garbage, but still. It's not atrocious like this Cauldron Elemental. This actually is a higher statted, same mana, actually does something when it dies, which is good for you. This is a giant piece of shit that doesn't do anything for you when it dies. It's a greedy little bitch. I don't think we went. I think we might have went over Splinter. I don't know if we went over Splinter. We're gonna click on him anyway. This guy, Druid Legendary, 8 mana, 8/8 Battlecry. Choose a friendly minion. Add a 10/10 copy of your hand. It costs 10. So you want to use this on cards that have good Battlecry. Doppelgangster, which is rotating, but you basically get 30 and 30 on stats. Serenite Chain Gang, holy moly! So it's not too bad. It'll be interesting. There'll be some combo with this guy. I can't think of the combo right now because I'm too tired, chat. But this guy, if there is any form of super ultimate, awesome, cool Druid card that can have a crazy amount of value, this guy with that card, especially if it's 1 to 2 mana, like Stone Tusk Boar, that's 10 mana to the face. I'm okay. The official website has the cards sorted by class, so you can click on them, view them larger, opening the page. It's all right. This is fine. This is working for me right now. All right, YouTube, we've decided to switch over to the Hearthstone because I'm a Hearthstone site to look at cards because I'm bad. And obviously, let's take a look. So Hyper Labs is a genius. So the last card we had looked at was the Splinter Graft. We rated him as a could be awesome, but probably going to be bad. Based on, you know, how things get panned out and if there's like some form of combo piece with this guy or like a super value generator. Moving through these, we haven't... Oh, Druid of the Scythe. That bitch looks cool. Hopefully she's cool. 3 mana, 2/2. Choose one, transform into a 4/2 with Rush or a 2/4 with Taunt. That's cool. I like it. The 4/2 with Rush is basically just trade mechanic. So you either basically get a Huffer, or you get a shitty Leok. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. Bewitched Guardian, a 5 mana 4/1 taunt battlecry, gain +1. It's gonna be for like cards in hand, right? Yep, cards in hand. I as soon as it says +1, they've done other shit with cards in hand. It's gonna be cards in hand. So by turn 5, let's say you have 4 cards in hand, so he's a 5 mana 4/4. And he's a Battlecry too, which means if you bring him back, he's awful. When is this guy good? Obviously in the late game, I suppose. But why wouldn't you just play Druid of the Claw instead of this guy? Twilight Drake? But is Taunt worth 1 mana, chat? I don't think so. I don't think Taunt is worth 1 mana, especially with Spreading Plague. And Silence. I mean, nah, this is all horrible. The card sucks. Ferocious Howl. 3 mana, draw a card, gain 1 armor for each card in your hand. It doesn't seem that bad. It doesn't seem particularly that great. But Druid has so much card draw, man. They just have stupid amounts of card draw. Well, I mean, if you think about it, like Arcane Intellect, right, is a 3 mana, draw 2. This is draw 1, but you're paying the other mana for armor. And as we know, armor is basically worth not very much. For 4 mana, we can gain 8 armor. It's not terrible. It's not bad, but it's not broken, which is where I think cards need to be. I don't like when you instantly look at a card and you just say this is broken and it feels broken. That's bad. But this does not seem bad, nor does it seem broken. Could possibly see play because drawing a card in Druid is good. Gaining armor is always pretty good for the most part. If you're playing a card heavy centric draw deck, then you'll probably have a decent amount of cards, at least 5. So 5 armor, draw 1 card, 3 mana. Not too shabby. I think that's all. We've covered all of the Druid cards. Why does it feel like there's not a lot of Druid cards? There's just 10 of these. That's it? It just gets 10 Druid cards? Well, each set, 9 sets, 10 each neutrals, I guess. Wow. Not that many. We've gone over Wing Blast. Ooh, Drake. Ooh, that looks really cool. 5 mana, 3/7 battle cry. If a minion died this turn, gave poisonous. Oh my god, that's annoying. That is so annoying. That's not necessarily, it's not really powerful. Plus it's a dragon, that's cool. Dude, this is gonna be so annoying in like a mid-range hunter. And then like turn 5 is really awkward for the hunter at currently because they have the Savannah Highmane on 6. They have the Houndmaster on 4. They got like the Animal Companion Eaglehorn Bow on 3. But what's on 5? Besides like this Spellstone. They gave him Spellstone. But like if you don't have Spellstone in your hand, which is only 2 copies, and if you haven't used the ability to, you know, upgrade it yet because you didn't draw any secrets, what are you gonna do? Emerus on this? I mean, this is just a good annoying card. It's just a solid annoying card. Can kill basically whatever it wants, has a high health total, and like I said, the attack doesn't, this could have 1 attack and it do the job. But 3 attack means it can actually attack face and do a pretty good job at face too. So this is a good card. I like this card. Super annoying. Spoders. 5 talking about 1 attack with poisonous, chat. 5 mana, 1/3 poisonous with rush. This is, I present to you, not a good card. This is a card I can stand by and say it's poop. Double the attack and health of all your minions. Oh my god. Oh. In your hand. Why couldn't it just be all minions? This card would be so fucking cool if it was all minions. But it's not. It's just an assassinate. But if they have a taunt, then you can't even assassinate what you want anyway. I don't like this card. I think it's bad. I saw pictures of this one. It's like the who you are, and then the guy she tells you not to worry about. And it's this one. This is freeze a minion. If it's already frozen, destroy it. It's just a better version of Shatter. And I think this is, they should have just printed this in the first place and just never printed Shatter. Like, I don't know what the point of, like, I mean, this actually makes me mad. Like, how you just gonna upgrade a card like that? Like, oh, our Shatter, or should we call it Shitter, didn't see any play. Let's try it again. And let's make it a cooler picture. This picture is actually pretty cool. It's a cool bow. I mean, personally, would I play this? No. If freeze gets a little bit more mechanics, would I play this? Maybe. If this said a 2 mana, freeze a minion and deal 1 to it. Like, okay. If this said 2 mana, freeze a minion, deal 1 to it. Or if it's already frozen, destroy it. Then this sees play. It actually competes with Frostbolt. Currently, this is still worse than Frostbolt. Worse than Historian. Not Historian. The Artifact Lady. So I don't see where that fits in, to be honest. Oh shit. Hero the Collector. 5 mana 4/4. Whenever you draw a card, gain +1/+1. Oh yes, the minion heavy. The minion heavy mage. The minion mage. Because it got that new, we haven't gone over it yet, but this Book of Spectators, which I guess we'll go over now, so the rest of the cards might make sense. Draw 3 cards, discard any spells. So obviously you're going to play this in more of a minion-centric mage deck, which is really not what mages normally do, which is why I'm assuming they printed this card, is to do things mages normally haven't done. So, yeah, interesting. That's definitely off the broken path, for sure. So this is where that guy comes in. You know, you play this guy, you drop that, you draw 3. Let's say 2 of them are minions, gets +2/+2, plus you naturally drew that turn 3/3. It's a 5 mana 7/7. Still worse than a 4 mana 7/7. Yeah. I don't want to say if it's good. I don't think it's good. I don't think this card is good at all. Cider Storm. I know it's not called Cider Storm, but that's what I'm calling it. 3 mana, deal 5 damage, randomly split among all enemies. So it just does 1 damage 5 times, but Arcane Missiles will do 3 damage, and it can hit face. So why? So I'm paying 2 more. I'm paying 2 more mana to deal 2 more damage. Really? Because Arcane Missiles does 3, and it costs 1 mana. This costs 3 mana, does 5. It needs to do 6. This needs to do 6. And then it's still worse. But at least it does 6. I guess if it did 6, they'd be like, oh, but then it's a fireball. So they had to make it worse than a fireball because it costs 3. But I don't think it's good. Four mana, 2/2, battle cry, discover a secret, put it into the battlefield. This card's good. This card is good. Like, really good. Like, really good. You're getting 2 things from it, and it costs 1 less. So it's basically a 1 mana 3/3, play a secret. Right? No, it's a 1 mana 2/2. I'm sorry. It's a 1 mana 2/2, play a secret. That card is really good. This card is good. Like, almost like good. The card's really good. This fits into Tempo Mage. This fits into Secret Mage. This fits into Control Mage. This fits into the fucking Minion Mage. Bonfire. Bonfire. Sorry. 5 mana, 5/5 elemental. Battle cry. If you played an elemental last turn, draw a card. The synergies, boys. Check it out. The collector. You can play this on turn 5, and then you can play a 5 mana on turn 6, and it gets +1/+1. Am I right? I don't like this card. This card is bad. Like, drawing a card. Like, it has a requirement to draw a card. Drawing a card is worth 1 mana. Well, 1.5 mana. So you're giving me a shitty, like, it's not super shitty, but it's not like it's statted below what a normal 5-drop is statted. So you could get this ability that not only is it has a requirement, it doesn't even impact the board. That's a no bueno. Archmage. Whenever you draw a minion, add a copy of it to your hand. Okay. So potentially if you play this and this on turn 4, you can draw 6 cards. You get 6 cards from these 2 combos right here. If you get all minions from the Book of Spectators. Which, by the way, really like the artwork. So far, the artwork on all these has been really nice. Well, the artwork, I like, look at that. That just looks like a cool card. That's a cool looking card. That's a cool dude. Whether or not his ability is actually that great, he gets coolness points. He is Fell, though. Fell's not good. We don't like Fell guys. He's doing all kinds of Fell shit. We're not going to play that guy. He's bad. He's actually just a bad guy. We're not playing him. I'm just kidding. He's actually not terrible. If you play him and draw, he'll potentially be really good. Toki, I don't know if we covered her. I'm pretty sure we did. The Time Tinker, Battle Cry. Add a random legendary minion from the past to your hand. This is actually really cool because it adds it can add cards from Wild. Yeah, you heard it right. It can add cards from Wild in standard mode. So you can get Dr. Boom, you get Ragnaros, you get Kel'Thuzad, you get Sneed's Shredder, you get, Trogzor. You get some good stuff with this guy. This girl. So, super interesting. Like, not even interesting, just super cool ability. That's just cool. Like, that to me, that fits really well into, like, what Mage can do. Like, cool spells, pull things from the past, pull things from the future, pull things that don't exist. No, it's not that necessarily that powerful. Trust me, this ability is not. I mean, potentially it could, get something really crazy and then they win, right? But it's just the fact that like they gave Mage like something no other class has, but it fits into like with the Mage theme. You know what I mean? Like the game needs more cards like this. Yo, what up, JH? Vex Crow. We went over him, and Black Cat went over her. Nice. Hidden Wisdom. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, draw 2 cards. That's very similar to the Rat Trap. And they said Rat Trap was shit. So I'm assuming this is shit. Plus, like, you don't know when you're going to draw these cards. So let's say you're playing like a control matchup. Well, I guess if you're not playing control and you're playing aggro, then drawing 2 cards whenever is good. But this card is bad. This card's just bad. I'm trying to make this card sound good. It's just bad. Like, no. Absolutely not. Battle Cry, transform all 1-cost cards in your deck into legendary minions of 5 mana, 5/5. So we have a 5 mana, 5/5 and a mage that draws us 1 card that has a requirement. While this guy transforms all of my Gen Pop pleb little dingoed biscuits into giant thick daddy legendary minions for the same mana price. Chat. If you had to go to a store and buy from either one of those guys, who would you buy from? I'm thinking this guy. So 1-cost cards. I mean, how many 1-cost cards are we playing in our Paladin deck? Is this guy just an aggro Paladin? Like just, So, this is the plan, chat. We play buff Paladin, right? We play buff Paladin. We fill it with a bunch of 1-mana dog shitters. We play a bunch of buffs. When we get the buffs to complete the quest, we don't want the little bad guys anymore because fuck those guys. So we play this, and it gets rid of all them. And then replaces it with bigger minions. And then we still have the buffs in our deck. That's the plan. Ghostly Charger. 5 mana, 3/4 Divine Shield Rush. Card is good. It looks bad at first, but it's actually pretty good. Because they can't make it like a 4 statted because that's too broken. So they have to make it a 5, and they give it 4 attack. Like a 4/4 Divine Shield Rough 5 mana, that'd be crazy good. So they had to give it 3, which makes sense. And it has Divine Shield, which is what really makes this card good. If it only had Rush, this card is absolutely dog shit. But because it has Divine Shield, it lets it trade into basically whatever it wants and live. For the most part. Granted, you play this on 5. It's really not that bad. I think this card's good. I already went over Silvercock. Paragon of the Light. I added that because it makes it sound cooler. 3 mana, 2/5. While this minion has 3 or more attack, it has taunt and lifesteal. Well, yippee-ki-yay, aren't you special? So we play this in decks that, you know, can give it an additional just 1 attack. With just 1 more attack, you too can obtain taunt and lifesteal. 2 installments of $1.99. So buff deck, it'll see play. No buff deck doesn't see play. Oh, like last night. Again, cool artwork. Cool artwork. Divine Shield, whenever you restore health, gain Divine Shield. Well, there's been a couple cards that gain health, right? We have the 3 mana, I think it's 2/4 at the end of the turn, you gain 3. Like, Divine Shield, it may not seem like it's a big deal, guys, but Divine Shield is, like, very, very powerful. It's one of the most annoying mechanics alongside of Poison to have to deal with. So, depending on how much healing, maybe right now this card doesn't have enough to kind of see play, but at any point in time, this guy, there's cards that you can play alongside him that that heal and do healing cool things, like healing minions, like we saw the 3 mana dude. It's gonna make this guy really annoying, like really annoying, because not only are you have to like trade minions into him to try to kill him, because 4 attack he's gonna be able to kill a decent amount. Like, you have to like ping it with a mage and then frostbolt it, so you're using 4 mana to get rid of his 4 mana, but that's only if you have frostbolt, and then he can, yeah, it's not bad. It looks bad, it's really not that bad. If all they need to print is like 2 more decent healing cards, and this card automatically becomes really nice. Like right now, it doesn't seem that nice. Not a lot of great cheap healing. Like there's good healing in Paladin, but you don't play that on even close to turn 4, right? Lay on Hands is great healing, good card draw. You got Rag the Light Lord. Again, he's rotating, but again, you don't play him till 8. You got the 3 mana 2/4 heals for 3 at the end of the turn. Not terrible, but not something that sees play right now. All you need is 1 to 2 cards that see play that do some form of healing something, and this card becomes good. Bellringer Sentry, 4 mana 3/4 Battlecry and Death Rattle. Put a secret from your deck into the battlefield. Oh, well, there you go. That answers the question of where our 1-drops are coming from to turn them all into legendary minions. Well, he's not bad. His ability is good, but do you play the secrets in your deck for this guy? Because the secrets on their own, they suck. You would never want to play the secrets unless you can pull them out, which is what made Mysterious Challenger so good. You can make a combo Corpse Taker. I think you guys are talking about the other different thing. I don't want to rate him bad because his ability is good, but the deck that he fits in is bad. So cards can be good, but their decks they fit in are bad. And right now the deck this guy fits into is not good, but the card itself is good. We talked about the Gargoyle, Sound of Bells, and Rebuke. Nice. See what Priest got. Squashly. 2 mana, 2/1 Echo, restore, Battlecry, restore 2 health. Good. This card's good. You can make a field full of Squashlings and heal for 10. Or you can use them for a with the Soul Priest. You actually can do combo damage with that. So you can do like 4 damage. Let's say Soul Priest. And then at turn 6, you can do a Soul Priest, deal 2 to something. Or you can, you know, play up to 3 of these guys. I just like the fact that he has Echo. If this guy didn't have Echo, he sucks. Because he has Echo, this card is actually good. It's pretty cool. Like, you play against an aggro deck, and then all of a sudden, it's turn 6, you have no move, and you have this 2-drop that you can play 3 times, and it's going to heal you for 6. That's just good. Quartz Elemental, 5 mana, 5/8, can't attack while damaged. He's an elemental. Well, as we know, Priest doesn't really have any, like, elemental synergies, right? They've been very non-elementally. So I don't think it being an elemental necessarily matters. I guess Silence Priest may see something with this. But then you're like, why wouldn't you just play the... if you're going to play Silence Priest, you wouldn't want to play this guy. You just play the statue and the Razor Leaf, right? Because it's a 3/8, and then you just double its health and then Inner Fire. Because that's the whole point, is the Inner Fire combo, right? So it's just like, why would you play this card when other cards are cheaper? We'll do the same thing, and you're playing cards in your deck that silence anyway. So you're just playing kind of like a more expensive minion that in the end, the attack of the minion doesn't matter. All you care about is the health. There's already a 3 mana, 8 health minion. Unless you're just going for consistency and wanting to draw it. And if your opponent can't damage it, you know, that's another story. What happens if you... Well, you could actually... Let's say your opponent... maybe it really isn't that bad. Because let's say your opponent is a mage or a druid or like a rogue, and they attack into it to damage it. You can just heal it back up. They take 5 and you can attack with it right away. So it's actually, thinking about it, it seems to get better and better in my head. Because they're forced to kill it. If they don't kill it, you're hitting them in the face. And if they try to kill it, that's 8 health they have to get through. So this actually looks bad, but I think it's pretty good. At first glance, it looked bad. Now that I'm thinking about it, and like how if someone basically if someone played this against me on turn 5, what do I do? I'm gonna have to deal with it. Unless you just feel like taking 5. Oh my god, yeah, I saw this guy briefly yesterday during the live review before I had class. This guy just seems really good. Night Scale, it's a 7 mana 4/9, so the health is what you care about here, guys. 9 health is insane for 7 mana. And whenever a friendly minion is healed, summon a 3/3 Whelp. Again, 3/3 Whelp, pretty powerful as well. Like, that's a decently statted minion to get popped out for free. If we even take a look at the Leper Gnome dude, he was a 9 mana 9/7, so he dies to a Fireball Ping. and he only makes leopard gnomes, which are still good. But this is more health, cheaper to cast, bigger minions, and it's a dragon. And the reason I think this is good because this card restores 6 health to all friendly characters. So for 2 mana, you heal all your minions and your face. That's really good. So that card with this, you can make easily. You're making 1 dragon a turn almost guaranteed, if not more. And playing a free 3/3 is really annoying. This card is good. And slower priest. Again, it has to be slow control dragon priest, something like that. Oh, we already really talked about this. Good card. Healing 2 mana, heal for 6, which is half of a greater healing potion, basically, and it heals all your minions. Holy Water, we've covered. Lady in White, we've covered. Vivid Nightmare, we've covered all these. Great. There's some good cards they just got. Cutthroat Buccaneer, 3 mana, 2/4 combo, give your weapon +1 attack. We mentioned this when we were talking about cards rotating. You know, we're like, the rogues are losing out on a lot of things that give their weapon attack. And so they're going to have to print more. That's exactly what they did. Give weapon 1 attack, though. The stats on this guy aren't bad. They're basically a 3 mana, 3/4, but it requires you to have combo. So this will only see play in the weapon-based decks. This is not good any other time, and it's still not even that good in weapon-based decks because it requires combo.